Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 24. In this week's game, we're going to be playing the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, but we are going to again be following the uniforms that are being used by the Panthers this year, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be wearing the black jerseys for this one. So a bit interesting how they're switching it up each week, but I am going to try to stay as accurate as I can with that. Now, discussing what happened this week as far as in the real season, we just lost to the Saints in a fairly close game. I was sort of surprised by how close it was, quite frankly. I don't expect the Panthers to do very well at all this season, and I'm not too concerned about that. Um, I said before the season that really this is a year where I'm just wanting us to get these new guys in and get them some practice, some reps, not get them injured and not get them psychologically damaged. I just want to build the team for the future, and I think we've got great players and a good coach for that. That being said, I thought overall the game went pretty well. I do think still right now Bryce Young is trying a bit too hard to win games on his own, and hopefully that's something that he'll grow to learn his place a bit more over the next couple of weeks and realize that right now he just doesn't have the tools at hand in order to win games. It is not that I don't think he should try to win every game he can, it's just that right now he's just not there yet. But I am pleased where the team is, and I think we're going in a good direction. That being said, we do have a media question this week, so let's go ahead and look at that and answer it before we get into the game. Jonathan Coachman. DJ Carr Jr. is in the final year of his contract and has turned down your contract offers to this point. So how far apart do you think both sides are right now? We'd like to think we're not too far apart, so while we haven't found common ground yet, we will continue to negotiate and get there. Honestly, I'm not sure how far apart we are, but he's going to be part of this team one way or the other. I honestly don't know. We have a price that we believe he's worth, and he's not budging, and we're not going to bid against ourselves. I'm going to go with the first one. It's positive, and it is the way I would want to approach a player. Basically, I want to be positive in contract negotiations, and I want us to show that we do care about the player and we do hope to get there. I don't like the second answer because of the fact that the second one seems to be almost demanding and saying that he's not got a choice in the matter of whether or not he's going to be a part of the team. And to me, that would alienate the player. It might make them leave. So I wouldn't like that. And the third one, again, seems sort of standoffish. It basically says he's worth a certain amount, which while that is the truth and while that is honestly what goes on in any business, it's not the way to address a human being, especially when you're talking in public. So I think the first one is the most professional and courteous one, so we're going to go with that. Alright, so per game after signed, merchandise prices go up by 5%, per game not signed, down by 2%. You know what? That's fine by me. I'm not worried about the budget overall. We're doing fine on that. So, we've answered that question. Don't know how contract negotiations are going because I've gone ahead and put those to just automatically do their thing. And so we won't worry about that. Oh, one last thing to note here. We did actually win a weekly award here. Gross Matos came in there, did a fantastic job in replacement of Brian Burns right now. So while I do plan on starting Burns when he gets back, hey, Gross Matos is doing a great job. I'm glad I made that change up so that he's in the roster, and that is definitely a good thing for my team. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this week's game against the Seattle Seahawks.
It's Madden NFL 24. And coming up, we'll see Kenneth Walker. He was steady for him on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Seahawks and the Panthers, and it's all up next.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Panthers of Orlando taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at the Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Now Raheem Blackshear going to take this one out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here are the Panthers set to take over for the first time. And Charles will get a look at the much-heralded rookie Bryce Young, the first overall pick from April's draft.
Bryce Young, the quarterback out of Alabama with a Heisman Trophy in his hip pocket, is the new face of Carolina football. 80 touchdowns, just 12 picks in his college career for the Crimson Tide. He may be a little small in terms of size, but potential, massive.
One of the Panthers' big off-season acquisitions. Here's Miles Sanders. The numbers for Sanders last week, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Young, he throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
They have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
On is the punter Hecker as he gets this one away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. And it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
The leading rusher among rookies a season ago. Here's Kenneth Walker. Really an excellent run. Sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8. The numbers for Walker last week. 16 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
When you look at this defense, they were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And this will be out of bounds at the 1 here, the 12-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. but then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. The Panthers at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Young off the play fake. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's third and short. You talk about the Seahawk defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So Young will head to the sideline, and on is Pinheiro for the Panther field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and not have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. How did you go?
Great pickup by Walker. Was the second back off the board in the 2022 draft, but it was first among rookies in carries, yards, and touchdowns, and was Rookie of the Year runner-up.
Now Gino on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Oh, what a juke into space. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 26. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Metcalf with the first down, still without a doubt, one of the toughest assignments in the NFL with his size and speed. A 1,000-yard season for him and an absolute nightmare for any corner who matches up with it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Normally he's pretty reliable, usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And Raheem Blackshear now to return it. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. It's Young off play action. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play. It forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now here's Young. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Hayden Hurst, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Smith. And This will be caught at the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. He hits his target, locked in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Smith, and this throw finds Smith and Jigba. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, you know. 3 straight first down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks and totals end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills.
It got his man complete. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Young to throw it. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Jonathan Mingo from 8 yards out. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25. A touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Gino, meanwhile, tossing complete there to Smith and Jigba. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36. A good pickup there, a 22. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting rubbed backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. Powering his way forward. And they are going to have a first down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20.
Here we go.
Back to Walker on first down. Yetur Gross-Matos there to bring him down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun, here's Smith. And this a quick slant to Lockett. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Smith on 3rd down. And he'll just get rid of it.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. Myers' kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 21-10, the final score. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in the victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin
Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So here are the Panthers set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready, break. Watch out now, 50 series. Hut.
Following the interception, Young. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 61 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Down. Ready.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go play action. Young. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
That's to his running back, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. Now Young. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Young. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Mingo. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long. And this time, that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. On the option, it's Smith himself. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Geno now to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Young off the play fake. Oh, wide open, complete. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. And even 60 yards.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with 1st and goal from very short range.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Sanders looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Sanders again. And he's going to ball his way in for a Panther score. Miles Sanders, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Catch is made by Metcalf. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Throwing is Smith.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Well, being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
See how they respond now. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10.
62 blaster.
Young off the bootleg. And that is taken in by Hurst. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, Young. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. Smith and Jigba with the grab. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
53.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Smith throwing again. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Now Gino on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Gino. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From the red zone now, Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Now, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
One last throw here for Smith. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Orlando, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon.